Chief Harow, Director of Tourism, remember tourism, and education for One Israel Fund. On a day when some of our prayers are being answered, we pray for rain, and boy, are we getting rain. It is the month of Kislev, the month leading up to the story of Hanukkah, our wonderful holiday of this incredible military victory, so the Jewish people could reestablish a strong and powerful Jewish state here where we speak Hebrew. And here we are again, 2,200 years later, fighting an enemy that's trying to erase all of that. The biblical Beit Tzur is where the fourth battle of the Maccabees occurred. Two of the battles of the Maccabees of the Chashmonaim happened here in Gush Etzion, the southern side of Jerusalem, always protecting Jerusalem, as we're doing today, as we did in 1948. And we are reestablished in this area now. We are going to be visiting Karmei Tzur, which is a community that was established. It's the only Jewish community between Gush Etzion and Hebron. So it's incredibly important, but it holds for us this area, the memories of those olden days that we are reliving. We are also obviously praying for a miracle these days, not just praying for rain. And we have no doubt that as with Hanukkah, we're going to get it. I'm sitting in the lovely home in the community of Karmei Tzur with Ruti Gillis, who is a glass designer, there's no other way of putting it, I think, an art therapist, and also a jeweler. And it's wonderful to be sitting here on a rainy day. And came to talk to Ruti, not just about her glass and all the beautiful things that she does, and when the tourists come back, then we're going to do workshops here and enjoy the time with her. But more than that, Ruti is a symbol in Gush Etzion for taking tragedy and turning it into joy and into good and into making people's lives better. So Ruti, first of all, thank you so much. And so tell us your story.
Thank you for coming. I was born in Jerusalem and grew there. When I was 18, I went out to the national service. So 1 year I was in Bnei Akiva. I was a head leader in Bnei Akiva. And the second year I guide schools, army groups around Harow.
The Temple Mount.
The Temple Mount, yes. It was the beginning of that. It was 40 years ago. Then we started to look for the gates, for what we have in, what we have around. The people started to live around Harow. It was very, very special time for me. Mm-hmm. Wow. And Jerusalem is part of my heart. When people asking me where I'm from Karmei Tzur, but really I'm from Jerusalem. I'm Yerushalmit, how we say in Hebrew. So one of my first work, when I started to make stained glass work, was a dish for matzah. That one of the sides is Yam Suf.
It's the Red Sea.
The Red Sea. Okay. And the other side is the temple, the Beit Hamikdash.
Wow.
Because the Geulah is going from Kriyat Yam Suf to Beit Hamikdash through the matzah, through the mitzvot, through the life. So that's dish for me. It's telling the story of, telling us our story. Mm-hmm. I worked with glass for a few years until my world changed when collapsed. At 2021, we had the second Intifada, what
2001. Yeah.
It started then.
Right.
And on February, Shmuel, my dear husband, was on his way home. We waited here for Abba to come. And those bad people were in a car, past his car, and shot him, killed him, and murdered him. I didn't have to wait so many years to know how bad they are, how
evil
they are. I know it then. Shmuel, he was a physician. In his work, he saw many of Arabs or ill people, and one of them was working with Arafat, the leader of the Palestinians. And when he went, he gave Shmuel his phone number. If you need something, when the Rais will be here, the big leader, and you need something, I'll help you. Now, Arafat is in the history of us. But after what happened, he phoned to Hadassah, to one of the doctors there, and he told them, we made a mistake. We didn't want to kill Dr. Gillis. And when they told me that, I was laughing, maybe, it wasn't funny, but they wanted to kill a Jew. They got one of the best of them. There was many good people, good Jews, but Shmuel was one of them. And after he was killed, they made a special Shema Yisrael in his name for his memory that was in our shul. And then I saw those pieces of glass. I needed something different. As I was walking in Jerusalem, and I saw a big bowl from glass. And I felt that's what I want to do. And I started to figure out how you do it. I asked friends, I asked people I know that they're doing things like that. And when I realized what I need, I bought a big kiln and I started to work in my studio upstairs. After what happened, I felt that all kind of artwork can help me, and I felt I want to connect my art designs to Shmuel, to our life. So first thing that I did then was a chuppah from his talit.
Wedding canopy.
Yes, and I made it for Hachnasat Sefer Torah of Reinhardt. Reinhardt wrote a special Sefer Torah for the name of Shmuel, and I wanted to do something for that event. And so everything was ready, so I made the chuppah from his talit, which was very special. And afterwards, many people took it to all kinds of weddings all over Israel. It was very special for me to give it out.
I remember well the winter of 2001 and what I refused to call the Intifada, but the Oslo Wars. What we're suffering from today in the war against Hamas is a direct result from that terrible mistake that we did, arming terrorists and creating some kind of pseudo-state. And a lot of people have been killed because of that. But just a few days after your husband was killed, one of the kibbutznikim here, Tzachi Sasson, was also killed on the road. The roads at the time were very dangerous, and I remember that. And what you did then, along with his widow, is something that transformed, I think, all of Gush Etzion, the entire region. The personal grief that you felt and the inner circle and the friends and the community that you had became something much, much bigger. So if you can tell us a little bit about the Pina Chama, the warm corner, and where the idea came from and how you were able to establish it.
We were sitting here, Shiva, and one of the days came here a group of soldiers, and they told me that they are the soldiers that here in the area, and they wasn't there when it happened. They had to be in the area, but they weren't there. So I felt that something happening inside my soul, and I understood I must choose if I want to be angry that they weren't there, to say it's not okay, you have to be there, whatever, or to do something different. And on that time I had the idea that if I want that something like that won't happen again, I must give the soldier the strength to be here. because I know they're working very hard in Gush Etzion. So I wasn't in the army, I'm in the national service. Shmuel was in the army, Shmuel was in a special unit, Sheldag. Now we hear a lot about the soldiers of Sheldag. And he was a doctor there in the unit, but he wasn't here to help me, to think what the army needs. So I did what I know. And I know to have a cup of coffee helps you always. So I thought to make a little place on where Shmuel was shot. Now it's next to Beit Tzur, south of Beit Tzur. And to make a cake every day with my children, come there at 5 o'clock, the soldiers will come and will tell them, we love you, we made you a cake, but you should know, we must get home safely. That's your mission. That was the basic idea of the Pina Chama. And I told here everybody, that's what I want to have, that's what I'm going to do. But a week afterwards, I understood that I forgot the idea that I'm alone. There is no one to help me in the evenings, as Shmuel came always and helped here and was part of the house and everything on me. And my children told me that they're very sad, but they have things to do, other things to do. And the truth is that to bake a cake was so hard to me, because bake is the family, is the happiness, is now to bake cakes, I couldn't. It was very hard to me. I did it for Shabbat, but it was very hard. So they put a mechola container in the Gush Etzion Junction, and they told me from the Motza,
the regional council,
that it's waiting for me.
A shipping container.
Yes, that was what the few months passed. Now, when I'm looking for on the past 3 months is nothing, but then every day was a day. Every breath was hard, so it looked to me a long time. And after Pesach, I asked all the other families that got hurt, and Ossi Sasson came. And together we started with friends from people from Gush Etzion and Efrat, that those the people that's still there. We found volunteers. We thought we'll open it for 3 hours. We found volunteers the whole day, and we opened the Pina Chama on Yom Yerushalayim, on Jerusalem Day. Our children, they were little children, threw sweets and told the soldiers, here, only sweets, no stones, no. And this place is open every day, all day, since then. Nowadays, it's open from 7 in the morning till 11 at night. Wow. We have there cakes, coffee, soup, slash, hot, cold, everything what the soldier need and want.
It's become a part of a trip to Gush Etzion is to go to the Pina Chama, to tell the story of Shmuel, to tell your story. So what you've done is not just built the community of Gush Etzion here because people volunteer, but there are soldiers who serve here who don't know anything about Gush Etzion. Maybe politically, this isn't their thing, and they connect to the people here. It's really much more than a cup of coffee and a piece of cake. It really is. So I think you started something. Did you know how big this was going to be?
No. On the Pina Chama, it's really more than the dream I could have, what happened there. It's more than what I thought can be, and it's always more and more, that place. We're doing more things, we're giving the soldier more things. And the special about it is that people, your tourists and all kind of people, all over the world, are part of that place. Sometimes bringing, if they're coming, they bringing the cookies, and if not, they donate, they help. And for me, it's something, it's here, but I know that many people all over the world are connected to that place. It's a place of Am Yisrael all over, and that's make me very happy.
So we're here now at the Pina Chama, what Ruti Gillis was involved with starting, that has burgeoned into something so much bigger. It's a place of achdut, it is a place of unity. The soldiers that you can see here today are not the young soldiers who are doing their regular army service. These are reserves, these are miluimnikim. These are people who are married with children, with steady jobs, who have left everything in order to protect other Jews, other Israelis, sometimes very far from their own home. The light of Hanukkah, we speak about that all the time, how we need to turn on the light. It is clearer, perhaps more than ever, who the darkness is, who the evil is. What the Torah commanded us to do is to take that evil out of the world. And we are doing it in a way that probably no one else has ever done. Our army is fighting as decently as an army can fight, trying to protect civilians on all sides. Our soldiers are incredible. The stories that are already coming out and that will come out of October 7th, and of the heroism of this war, perhaps are unique in the annals of mankind. It is difficult to be in Israel today, and I couldn't be anywhere else. I'm among my people, I'm among our destiny. We are writing the history of the Jewish people right now. It is a very painful time to be here, and it is exhilarating because the good is so good against the evil that is so evil. And we are standing here in a place that a woman began, a woman who took her tragedy and took her heartbreak and moved past it. She incorporated it into her life. She incorporated it into her work that she does, the beautiful glass pieces that she creates, that she created something so much bigger. And that's what the Jewish people are. We are a little people who take our history, who take our pain, who take our journey and light up the world. I cannot imagine a world without Am Yisrael, and we're never going to have to. Am Yisrael Chai, and we are here forever.